Yo, what is going on, you freckled Feebass? The Players Cup Invitational wasn't the only tournament going on, or the only invitational going on over the weekend. The Limitless Invitational was, and Kevin Kruger ended up winning that with a very cool Spiritomb deck. A lot of cool and interesting cards in this deck. Of course, for Spiritomb, we do have a beast in the Buzzwole. Opted for no Nihilego. Then you've got the Giratina in here with the Dimension Breach for the Dragapult matchup, and awkwardly enough, the mirror match, if Black Market gets involved, being able to actually draw a prize card when you knock out an opponent's Spiritomb is pretty good. There's the Yveltal-GX in here for the Doom Count GX, either setting up enough damage between Shrine and a Zigzagoon ping or two, or just go ahead and setting up for a 2-shot to go into the Yveltal is also a possibility. Building Spite once into an Anguish Cry for 40, into that Doom Count for a knockout possibility against some of the bigger Pokemon that are out there that we need to take out to draw a prize card. Of course, there's some Jynx in here to build up damage. Oops, only one Jynx in there. Supposed to be two Jynx in here, to help build up, move our damage that has been built up and play around a little bit. Jirachi engine deck, obviously, and it is based around the Scoop Up Net build, because you can abuse it with Jynx, you can abuse it with the Giratina, you can abuse it with Jirachi. There's a Mewtwo in here that can be abused with as well as the Zigzagoon. Some draw support in some other 2 prize Pokemon coming in with the Dedenne and Oricorio. They don't want to dead draw all those games where we just have a quick ball and no draw support. So quick ball for the Dedenne is sometimes just the way to go, even though it kind of hurts to put a 2 prize Pokemon in play in a 1 prize deck. And that's pretty much it, all I wanted to talk about before we get into some games. So let's go ahead, let's do that, and let's play some games with Kevin Kruger's Limitless Invitational first place Spiritomb and Friends deck. Alright, we're into our first game here. We are going second. Oh, actually, they're opting for us to go first. I kind of just assumed. I'll go ahead and open the Giratina. They might be playing a little bit of an aggressive deck, so I want to be able to, respond accordingly to that. I don't want Mew to get knocked out if it's Pikarom, or if we have to put the Dedenne in play, we need to protect from Cameron. Jynx, one of the most important cards in the deck to just kind of have in play, gives us a ton of options turn to turn. It looks like it is a Pikarom build. Our hand is looking like quick ball away Marnie and get a Spiritomb and attach a Rainbow to it. And that's what I see anyway, so we're gonna go for that. Don't need too much else. 4 Spiritomb are in the deck. Buzzwole is here. The Mew is in our hand. Check the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 energy prized. That's fine. Research is prized. Black Market's here. The Shrines are here. Shrines very good against Pikarom. If we can get one to stick. The damage does make a big difference because we cap out at 220 damage with the Spiritombs. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, they do 20 with that. So I'm gonna build in Spite. I'm actually debating moving it off the Spiritomb just in case they have an E-Power Boss's Orders attached. I think we'll be fine. I might want to be able to build up to actually knock this thing out as well. That sounds like a little bit better. So if I can build up the extra damage, might be that difference maker. I'm going to go ahead and pass to my opponent. We might attach this energy to the Mew. Depends if they do anything aggressive, because we don't really have to be too aggressive in this matchup. It's a very favorable matchup. As long as we can just attack and take knockouts throughout the game. We don't have to be the first person to draw a prize card or even respond to when our opponent draws a prize card. We just have to do something eventually, basically. So I don't mind just kind of chilling. It's possible we could have kept this at 0 damage counters on the Spiritomb, so they can't do the boss's orders plus an E-Power with that spiked draw knockout. We could have just attached the Rainbow and then moved the damage off, so they would have needed double E-Power if they want to take a knockout on this. They do play Pokemon Catcher. If I had known that, I definitely wouldn't have left any damage on my Spiritomb. Boss's orders play a little bit harder to pull off when trying to find all the other stuff to do and still have a decent turn. But when you can just play a catcher, get heads, and knock out my Spiritomb, not only is it pretty rude, but it's pretty aggressive, and there's not much I can do about it. If they get that knockout, they'll be able to still play their Cynthia like they did as a draw supporter, and then get a catcher heads, knock out my Spiritomb. But it's just gonna be a spiked draw on our active. That's fine. I'm debating attaching this unit energy to the Mew. We top decked an Escape Board. Probably gonna throw that on the Giratina. I could actually pick up the Giratina and get rid of the speed energy. I'm gonna put this on the Jynx actually. Could put the unit on the Mew, or we could just kind of chill. Discard it, because we could knock this thing out if we get lucky this turn. Play to get lucky, I guess. Psi Power, we can put Psi Power sometimes if it comes up. Unlikely to come up frequently. Rest of this hand, not great. Go ahead and Scoop Up Net the Giratina. We're going to get rid of this energy off our opponent's active, so they lose options. Then we're going to retreat back to the... I don't really want to attack. We could bring up their Pikarom and hit it pretty hard with our Spiritomb, I guess. Kind of drew no basic Pokemon, which is just kind of not good. I'm scared of just this thing getting boss's orders at this point and knocked out. So I kind of want to be aggressive and like hit the Pikarom. Could attach second Rainbow and take out the Coco Prism. Especially if we got rid of their energy. Alright, cool. That seems pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I'm down with that. Oh no, this isn't a boss order. This is a Great Catcher. Yeah, let's just go ahead and punch the Pikarom. Sheesh, man. I don't know what I was thinking there. Let's go punch a Pikarom. I was like, hey, let's knock out this Coco. Can't do that. That would be cheating. So we're getting really aggressive here with this line of play here. I was like, well, we have a Gust effect. Hitting that, taking that out for 130. Hey, that seems pretty good. Can't do that. We're getting pretty aggressive here. The big thing I'm concerned about is just kind of the lack of Spiritombs we've seen up to this point. But once again, matchup's very favorable. As long as we just attack. We're attacking, so feeling fine overall. Just need to keep doing it. Keep doing the things, keep attacking, and we'll be fine. We could even take a turn off of attacking as well. Like I said, we don't need to attack every turn. Just need to attack down then. Yeah, this next turn we might whiff an attack, but that'll be fine. This Pikarom is set up to be cleaned up eventually. Can go ahead and Sledgehammer this Coco Prism or this Coco V in like 2 turns. Here comes a Guzman Hala, so you know the Thunder Mountain's about to come down here and replace our Shrine. We have the research for next turn. Haven't been able to find a Jirachi either to set up and start using Stellar Wish. So yeah, we're like, just need to find some Pokemon. We just need to find some Pokemon and we'll be okay. Big Charm down to the Tapu Koko V. Sledgehammer no longer one-shots it, but we do play a, what do we play? We play that Zigzagoon. Can use to get that 10 extra damage that we'd be missing. Top deck. It is the Buzzwole. We don't want to bench the Buzzwole right now because our opponent has a very big hand, and we don't want to give him free, like a free Buzzwole for them to knock out. We got a couple things here. Let's go ahead and start with this Adventure Bag, get 2 Hustle Belts out of the deck, and then I'm gonna go in with this Great Ball to try and find a Spiritomb. We did get a Spiritomb, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and bench both of these, build some Spite. I'm gonna retreat to the Giratina. And I'm gonna pass. Yeah, retreat to Giratina. Gonna go ahead and maybe just leave everything the way it is. I could Ominous Posture one of the Spirit. Yeah, I could damage. I'm gonna do this. If they do knock out our Buzzwole, I want to be able to hit big with a Spiritomb. And I'm gonna even put a Hustle Belt on it. If they knock out this, we get Sledgehammer. So actually, we do knock out through the Big Charm. Never mind. Man, I'm losing it. I'm losing it in this. Losing it today in this game right here. We do one shot the Coco. Big Charm does protect Pikarom from Sledgehammer. Pikarom has a little bit more HP than a Tapu Koko V. I even called it a Tapu Koko Prism earlier too. It does a little bit more HP. So Buzzwole is swinging just enough. We don't want Buzzwole in play usually, like right here in this situation. Our opponent has a huge hand, full of options. Would not be surprised if they had Gust Up Buzzwole knock it out. We do play a Lana's Fishing Rod in the deck. However, not super likely for us to hit, with our current setup, to hit the Lana's Fishing Rod and find a way to do the, what's it called, get it back out with an energy. Pretty unlikely to happen. Yeah, here comes the Pokemon Catcher. I know they're eyeing up my Buzzwole. Makes sense. Taking it out here is pretty good. See if they get there. That is a Tails. That is pretty good for us. Now all we need is an energy. They can't really afford to not attack this turn. We'll get too far ahead if they choose to not attack. We'll just get to build up more Spite, which is what we've been lacking up to this point. It's just kind of been able to build Spite, or even just get damage in play. Even if we even had like Rainbow attachments to like even the Mew, getting that extra 1 damage in play when you need a lot of damage in play to take these big one-hit KOs is a big deal. Looks like they're going with that slower line of play, just going with the Spite. That's fine with me though. Like I said, I am content to sit here and build some Spite for a little while we have the threat of Sledgehammer hanging around. We can just chill. I'm fine with this. Lana's Fishing Rod doesn't seem necessary to use. Pass over to my opponent. Yeah, I'm content with this situation, just continuously playing it out like this. If they want to sit here, let us build a Sweat. Ooh, I should have moved this damage off this Giratina with my Jynx though. Completely forgot to do that. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not the most proficient with the Spiritomb deck. I have not played it a ridiculous amount, but that's where we can like to start to save get some extra damage in play to utilize that. We should have moved this damage off our Giratina, probably to the Mew, because one of the things I'll probably try and focus down is our Jynx at some point. So we should move that damage off somewhere, not on a Spiritomb, but like somewhere to move it off later potentially. All right, we got to switch. We top deck the Marnie, so I'm gonna throw the Hustle Belt here. I'm going to Lana's Fishing Rod to grab these two to have the Escape Board in the deck for the Jirachi later on. I'm going to switch back to this Jynx, and I'm going to Building Spite before I forget, because I do that all the time with Spiritomb. And I'm going to go ahead and play this Marnie. Shuffle our opponent's hand, get that a little bit smaller. That's great. Our hand was a little bit too big. Okay, so we can hit this thing for 220, clean it up with Zigzagoon on the next turn. So I think we should do that. Get the Rainbow out here right now. I feel like get that extra damage in play doesn't hurt, but we have so much damage built up over here on this Giratina. Maybe I do want to use the unit Save the Rainbow for later. Yeah, let's go like this. Thankfully I didn't get punished for not like, yeah, we got this Giratina to the bench with all this damage we can use with Jynx now, which is super sick. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hit this guy really hard. And we got that quick ball for the Zigzagoon on the next turn, as long as he's in the deck and he's not prized. Which again, I'm not 100% sure on. He might be prized. And in that case, we just hit this guy really, really hard, for potentially no reason. We do want to hit him. We don't really have to hit him this hard potentially. We hit him really hard, but should be fine. Yeah. I'm sure you guys can tell I'm not the most proficient with this deck. Once again, I do not play that much Spiritomb. But I'm getting there. I'm learning there. Definitely going to be playing around with this deck quite a bit. Very cool deck. A lot of cool, interesting things going on. A lot of stuff to remember that you have the options to utilize throughout games. And like setting up the optimal game plan around the scenario definitely can be a little mind-boggling sometimes with all the options this deck has. So trying to remember everything can be a little bit of a little lot. A lot of a little bit. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're in a really good spot here still. Even though we've drawn 0 prize cards and our opponent's drawn a prize card, they got a lot of damage in play. Like I said, this guy can be cleaned up with Zigzagoon at some point, and we still have Sledgehammer, and we're going into Sledgehammer turn. They don't have access to Tag Bolt or anything right now. We have the Mew to protect us even if they did, so there's no way for them to get around the Sledgehammer turn besides knocking out our Buzzwole, which I guess is the one thing we wouldn't want to have happen. Once again, though, I'm actually not sure if Zigzagoon's in the deck, so we're about to... I'll do a little bit learning here of what's actually in my deck, because we do have the Quick Ball, so if it's in there, we can Quick Ball for it, but it does have to be in the deck. Top deck is a Jirachi. I'm going to start with a Great Ball here. Got a Spiritomb. Spiritomb is still good. I'm going to Quick Ball away a... I don't think I need a Jynx anymore, but we have a lot of damage we could move around potentially. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this Jirachi. And... oh, he's there. Last one. I was like, oh, I think he's gone. Zigzagoon is here. Let's KO this Tapu Koko V. Get 2 prize cards to work with. Hey, there's a Research, and hey, there's a Scoop Up Net. See what our opponent sends up. See what we can go ahead and take out with this Sledgehammer. We're either going to take out this Jirachi, this Boltund, or the Pikarom. Doesn't really matter to us which one we take out. We just want to take one of them out. Yeah, we don't really care which one we take out. Gonna send up the Jirachi. All right, we're going to Sledgehammer Jirachi and then look to clean up the Pikarom on the following turn. All right, build some Spite. I am going to Jynx away damage over here from the Giratina. Then I'm going to Scoop Up Net this Giratina. I guess I should have taken the damage off the Buzzwole. No, because the Buzzwole's damage could stay there, actually. Because our opponent could gust something else out and just ignore the Buzzwole. So we should have done it that way. We did it. It doesn't really make it easier for my opponent, or harder for my opponent to KO the Buzzwole if I move the damage off. We got a Shrine. That's great. We did not get the boss's orders, but we have so much time to find the boss's orders, and that it doesn't really matter. Like we have like almost infinite time here to find this boss's orders. There's another unit energy to work with. We don't have an energy yet, so that's cool. Yeah, we almost have infinite time to use this to find this boss's orders. So yeah, the reason it's better to move that damage off the Giratina actually is because all the damage on Giratina is about to leave play. But this damage on this Buzzwole is going to stay in play, and our opponent one-shots Buzzwole no matter what. If our opponent maybe wouldn't get the one-shot if we move the damage off, then we maybe should have healed Buzzwole. But now if they go, I don't know, boss's orders, knock out this Spiritomb. He's got 4 damage counters and a Hustle Belt. Then we still have this damage in play on this Buzzwole that we can move around with Jynx and utilize on like our other Spiritomb or something like that. So it is nice to still keep that damage around the Buzzwole versus having it somewhere else. Okay, there's the boss's orders. That's good. We don't have an energy to work with though, and actually, besides just not having an energy to work with, we don't have a draw supporter or other ways to find cards. So our hand is kind of stuck here. Another Tails from a Pokemon catcher. That's 0-3 so far. One of the main reasons to not play coin flip cards is because sometimes you do get all tails, and they're going to concede on that. They're giving up. They didn't even wait to see if their stamp worked, despite playing it hopefully for the possibility that their stamp works. They didn't even wait to see if their stamp works. They were still knocking out my active. I maybe just don't have energy there. They maybe had me, but I guess not this time. And we're going to get a dub despite my my constant missteps. I had a good game plan in my head. Didn't quite play it perfectly. Let's see if we can't clean up the play a little bit in the next one. All right, we're into another one here. Our opening in this one is a little rough. Open the Giratina with the Dimension Breach once again, up against the Dragapult. This is one of this card's strongest matchups. Hey, there's a Aurora Energy. We can take advantage of that right off the rip here, but we don't have anything else to do, which is just kind of not good. Taking Escape Board and a Hustle Belt. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we're going to Scoop Up Net the Giratina. It almost makes me wish I had kind of not opened the Giratina in this instance. One of the scary things here is they can shred, knock out our Jynx. So we don't want them to do that. So we're going to Scoop Up Net this guy, send up the Jynx. I'm going to take away that energy, slow them down a little bit. Escape Board. I'm going to retreat back to this. Black Market's pretty good in this matchup. To slow them down, I could put a Aurora Energy on my active here so I can retreat this into a Spiritomb, possibly on my next turn. I think that's probably best. And I'm giving up the boss's orders here. I think that's kind of the worst card in my hand. Yeah, I think giving up the boss's orders is just fine. We've got the Black Market as a counter stadium. We get a Spiritomb. We have Rainbow and the Hustle Belt. It's okay. We're in a little bit of a scary spot. There's a Evolution Incense. So that kind of actually tells us that our opponent is probably playing Green's Dragapult. Which is a awful matchup for us if they ever pull off multiple Roxys. They usually play Roxys when they're playing Green Dragapult. Here comes a Shred. This is damage for us, so this is actually not a good attack from our opponent. That puts damage in play for us to utilize, which we want, which our opponent does not want to give us, which shouldn't want to give us. So now all of a sudden we might be able to pull off a knockout that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to pull off. I'll go ahead and throw out the Shrine and then research. Yeah, building up damage on our own GX Pokemon on the bench can be pretty good. Let's see, we got Rainbow. Can posture once, twice. Not quite enough, I don't think. So, what do we do here? I think I can quick ball away this Great Catcher. Get myself another Spiritomb to put on the bench. Bench a Mew. Gonna retreat into the Mew. I'm gonna building Spite on both of these, I think. Actually, they might not have a way to deal damage to it. If they are greens, they might not be able to get off a Roxy play, which means they might not be able to pull off a second knockout this turn. So I think I might just pass. And then go from there on the next turn. Let's try that. Or I could building Spite on both of them, and then it'd be that much easier to pull off a knockout on this on the next turn. Man, I'm torn here. I'm torn on what to do. Because we can give up some prize cards, we just can't give up too many. Let's go for a double building Spite. We'll theoretically make it easier to get the knockout, but we guaranteed give them a knockout on one of our Spiritombs if they just have an energy. But of course they might whiff. And then I don't want any damage on my Jynx because them KOing Jynx is like really annoying. It means I can't move around my damage as much. So I'm gonna keep this 6 here and just pass. But they really should not have shredded on my Giratina because it put damage in play that all of a sudden I can move around, and they don't really KO the Giratina that much faster. Like, just not worth it overall. All right, so they're gonna get 2 knockouts here. But now I'm working with an extra damage on my Spiritomb that I otherwise wasn't, and I can possibly take the knockout without a Hustle Belt, which could be the difference maker from me getting a knockout or not getting a knockout. So we'll see here. Jynx goes up, top deck to the Oricorio. I feel like I can comfortably put this in play. I'm feeling fine about this. Let's go ahead and do it, and then yeah, go ahead and research. Now we can get the knockout with a Jynx or a Scoop Up Net, which we did draw. Let's go ahead and use that Dance of Tribute. Get 3 more cards to work with. And it did come down to if I hadn't built up that Spite, I wouldn't. No, I guess I had another net. So I got to scoop up this thing another time. So yeah, I guess I still had it otherwise. All right. Another Spiritomb coming down. I'm going to build up Spite on this guy because the only real way they get the knockout on this is if they want to use Bite, I guess. So I do want another Spiritomb in play. I have to building up Spite here. We have to Jynx the damage over from here to here. But I did have to double net for that play to work. So I still feel it's correct to have done it this way. Scoop Up Net the Jynx. And now I have an extra net for a following turn. Alright, the only thing gets out of debate is, do I put down this Jirachi? I'm pretty unsure about that, not gonna lie. Seems safe enough. And Anguish Cry. 3 prize cards more to work with, and our opponent can. The big thing is our opponent can't max Phantom this turn, and that is all thanks to the Giratina taking away the Aurora Energy. Our opponent cannot use max Phantom this turn. So that's pretty cool for us. We can't full punish our opponent, because if they retreat this into something else, we don't have a boss's orders to work with. Although we might be able to get into it with the Mewtwo. Here's our opponent's Mewtwo. All right, so they are not playing greens, because greens wouldn't play Mewtwo. I don't think. It's just going to be a bite. They scoop. Wait, what? I'm not too sure. But all right, and the concede. Okay, that's fair. The bite into concede is okay, I guess. All right, get a dub over the Dragapult. All right, into another game here. We'll go first. I was nice to build up some early spite. Not with this hand though. Gonna open the Mew. Because once again, we've always all of our hands. I think we've had something plus Jynx. We don't really ever want to open the 2-prizer, so that's never, excuse me, happening. Yeah, something plus Jynx has always been the option. Jynx feels way better to open up, or something besides Jynx feels way better to open up with. Let's see. Gonna go ahead and adventure back, thin out the deck. Currently, dead drawing, and no better way to put it. Currently don't have a whole ton going on. Put a unit on my Mew, could start using Side Power next turn, or would have the option to retreat it, I guess. Also just pass, because we have double Escape Board in hand. I'm gonna go with the pass here. I don't feel, if I'm gonna Side Power next turn, I'll just go ahead and attach to the Mew and Side Power next turn. Zation start from our opponent. Metal Energy in the discard pile. Probably looking at Luke Metalization or Combozation. Here's an Acrobike. Probably Combozation with the Acrobike. Comes that Primate Wisdom and Intrepid Sword. We have no response to this Intrepid Sword at all. However, Side Power is not bad here, because we can get to 190 damage pretty reasonably, actually. All right, we have a Great Ball to work with. Jirachi's not bad. I don't want to Dedenne change it. I think we're going to go with the Jirachi here. Jirachi feels pretty good. The Dedenne in play is so bad in this matchup anyways. I'm going to go like this. We're going to see how this develops, see how it turns out. I am going to Scoop Up Net my Mew here initially, use a Stellar Wish, hope to find a Quick Ball. Found a Marnie. And I think I will go ahead and I will hit this thing for 3 with the Psi Power. Because it does make a difference in this matchup. Because we can get it to 190, which is way easier for a Spiritomb to get to than that 220. That's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, that 190, not quite as hard to get. So we're going to get the Psi Power in here, and hopefully it makes a difference. Because now we can get 4 damage counters on our Spiritomb, plus a Hustle Belt, and we'll get to that 190, which is what the Zation has left. I mean, if they got Goggles or they got something else, we can do it for 5. Goggles or the Frying Pan, or if they somehow healed, maybe they play a Potion. Here comes a Marnie. Fine with that as well. Our hand was in that. We had the Rainbow. That's what we did have going for us. I guess I could have put that Shrine in play, probably. We just drew Dedenne, Yveltal, and Research. If I had checked, we're probably going to bench the Yveltal. I don't want to put Yveltal and Dedenne in play. If I had checked my deck, I would know if I had Zigzagoon or not. Did not check my prize cards. It's something I don't do very often that I should do a lot more of. Because it does make the difference to know. All right, Hustle Belt. I'm benching the Yveltal. We're not going to put 2 prizes in play. We're going with that Research. Get ourselves an Energy and a Zigzagoon. Knock out the active. There's the Zigzagoon. No energy. All right, so whiffing the energy here. I'm gonna go ahead and Quick Ball away the Jynx here. I want to keep that other Quick Ball. Get ourselves the Oricorio. And we're taking for specifically energy, so I'm actually going to Stellar Wish here before I use Oricorio. I'm going to grab something. I don't like any of this, so we're going to take the Research. And drawing cards is pretty good. Right. Oricorio comes down. Could Quick Ball again, but I have nothing to Quick Ball for right here. I don't think. Alright. Dance. Give me an energy. There we go. Alright. Zigzagoon. Yes. Ping 10 here. And then we even have the Black Market, so our opponent might only draw 1 prize card off our Yveltal next turn. This here can actually move this damage off of our Yveltal to our Spiritomb, so we can try and get up to 5 next turn if they do knock out our Yveltal with the Brave Blade. Building Spite, let's not forget to do that. And yeah, Doom Count GX. That's one way to deal with the Zation, or with the Yveltal. Did we have the knockout with the Spiritomb, actually? We were close to having the knockout with the Spiritomb, weren't we? We didn't quite have the knockout with the Spiritomb, I don't think. I didn't actually even try for it at this point, but I don't think we had it quite. We were close. We were actually very close. I didn't quite try for it. Yeah, Black Market in play, so even if they do pull off the return knockout, they'll only draw 1 prize card. Still could draw 2. Ooh, there's a tool scrapper, but we do have the Lana's fishing rod. Are we down both our escape boards? I think we have 1 left, yeah. Probably get the Hustle Belt back. Hustle Belts are a pretty big deal in this matchup. I really want to get a Scoop Up Net and get the Zigzagoon out of here so I can get another Spiritomb and start building up more Spite. That's what I'm really looking for here. They could definitely pull off a return knockout. They have 4 Saucer left. Plenty of metal in the discard pile to work with. Yeah, and if the Jirachi Prism is prized, they will get 2 prize cards still. Because, I mean, if they put it in the prize or pull it out of the prize cards, I guess. They have to do one of those first. But if they do that, they will get 2 prize cards, even with the Black Market in play. Because it only reduces the prizes we take by 1. It's just 1 fewer prize cards. Not too ridiculous. Still pretty good, though. There's a Swell. Black Market's gone. We can put the Shrine in play. And I'll try and get another Shrine in play after that. I don't know how much that would actually do for us. All right, Shrine. Check my discard pile real fast. I'm going to go ahead and Fishing Rod. I'm going to get back the Dedenne for late game. Might want to just see the rest of our deck at some point. Hustle Belt here. Rainbow to here, I think. Yeah, seems fine. Shrine over the Swell, and then we're going to Marnie. If we had a switch card, we would be able to knock out that Zation because we did have the boss's orders in hand, but we do not. Found the net, but we did not find another Spiritomb. So, kind of stuck for a turn, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and move this damage counter off him to probably just the Jynx. Let's move to the Jynx. Because we don't want too much damage on there and lose all that damage. And then I guess we're just going with that Absorb Vitality. An attack you never really want to use, but you sometimes have to because you don't really have a choice. So yeah, going with that Absorb Vitality for 20. Because that's all we got. And but we did reset that big hand of our opponents. Still have a lot of stuff left from our. Here come the saucers now. And we're hoping they don't have a way to KO our Spiritomb. We don't really care if they knock out the Yveltal at this point. I don't think. It's really all about our Spiritomb here. That's going to be our main game changer at this point. That's what's going to win us the game. We're going to try and go knockout Zation at this point, and hope that is our last 4 prize cards right there. Right, the net is out. Yeah, if they have the boss orders on our Spiritomb, we are in trouble. They didn't actually. They could have used Stellar Wish there. They whiffed that one there, or they missed that there. They do have the boss. So they're going after our Oricorio actually. Though, whoa! All right, right after our Oricorio. All right, that's fine with me. That leaves our Spiritomb in play. I can work with that. They only got 2 prize cards there as well, which is a big deal. Because now even if they knock out the Spiritomb, they won't win the game next turn. We need to find another Spiritomb here. Let's find a Quick Ball. None of that's a Quick Ball. Let's take the research then. We're running out of energy though. That's 3. How many do we have in the discard pile? 4, 5, 6. There's 9 in the deck total, so we still have some left. You see one right there. All right, take the research. Go ahead, throw the Shrine out. That seems fine. Net the Jirachi. Send up the Spiritomb. We could attach another energy here, so we could use stuff like Sonic Volume or something, I guess. I don't hate the idea of that. I mean, Sonic, it could be. We might just need a swing with Sonic Volume, I guess. Why not? I'm going to leave this bench space open. Not going to put the Jirachi back down. We do lose the Dedenne again. Which is, you'd love to see the Dedenne stick around. They've played their Tool Scrapper at this point, I believe. Yeah, Tool Scrapper is gone. I'd be surprised if they play 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and play like they don't. Assume that they're playing what seems to be reasonable as far as lists go these days. We're going to build some Spite twice here. I am going to Jynx move this damage off right now because we're going to build up some damage on the Yveltal through the Shrine, which means we're going to want to be able to move that damage over as well. If we have some here and some here, we can't do that all in the same turn unless we get a lot of nets, I guess. But we are down 2 nets. We don't have endless nets. Also, this means I can retreat my Yveltal now. It can't get stuck in the active if they were to boss's orders it or something. We got some mobility on that Yveltal. All right, we got a Rainbow. We got the Hustle Belt. Don't have a boss's orders to bring this up yet. We don't win the game yet, but we're in a pretty good spot, especially if they attack with the Zation this turn. If they don't attack at all, we're still in a good spot. If they attack with a slap with a Jirachi, that would be a little bit annoying. We don't really have a good answer to them slapping us, unless this guy gets us the boss's orders, which is possible. I don't think we have one in the discard pile, because we do have the Mewtwo, so we can't get it out of the discard pile. There goes the Mr. Mime. I assume Jirachi Prism is in the discard pile. They're going all out here. They're looking for the knockout on my Yveltal to secure this game. Let's see if they can find it. There goes another Quick Ball. Getting rid of the Zamazenta. Grabbing a Jirachi. What do they need? They need Saucer Boss or Saucer Great Catcher. Let's see if they can find it. Here comes another Acrobike. Jirachi on the bench. Now they need a Scoop Up Net. They do need to make space on their bench. Their Dedenne's in play now. Let's see where our Great Catcher is. It is in the deck. Or maybe prized. We're hoping not. We do have access to it. And there's an Intrepid Sword. All right, so we want to try and win the game this turn. We don't want this game to go on any longer. So we're looking for top deck boss's orders, and if we don't have that, might be in trouble. Okay, start with the Great Ball here. Get a Spiritomb. There's a boss. We have the switch. We're gonna Stellar Wish. Let's see if we can get a boss here. Switch and Stellar Wish. Hey, boss's orders. All right, so our opponent, no double saucer plus gust effect. And we're gonna be able to close one out here on our opponent's Dedenne. Pretty close one overall. It was a kind of a nail biter there at the end. They had an opportunity. They got the Jirachi Prism in the prize cards, just not quite able to pull it out. And we're gonna walk away with the dub here in another game with the Spiritomb. I hope you guys enjoyed these games. It's super cool deck, like I said. Super cool Spiritomb deck. A lot of things going on in this build, but it's pretty fun. If you guys enjoyed the video, the games, enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.